Da, da, da. All right. So I'm pretty sure that Brandon RSVP'd, so we're gonna wait for him. So Albert,
Yeah.
do you have any dice? And if not,
You post something on Slack, like
yeah. So basically, you can. There's tons of like little dice app for like for iPhones and stuff like that, or you can just use a browser and just do a Google search for dice roller, and the first thing that's going to pop up is a dice roller, and you're going to see all the different types of dice there. So when I say, for example, roll a d4, roll a d6, I'm saying roll a 20 side, a 6-sided die, a 4-sided die, or a 20-sided die, etc. And you might need to roll them more than once and stuff like that. So we'll give you instructions and whatnot. So don't worry about not knowing the rules. You do have access to the full rule set through D&D Beyond now that you have an account there. So you can read them at your leisure if you want, but there's no reason to. Or very little reason to. And yeah.
All right. Yeah, I have the dice roller coming up.
Cool.
Directly in Google search results. Yeah.
All right. Brandon, oh, look at you. Are you outside?
Yeah, I'm on my patio.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, we're doing the garden patio.
That's good. Excellent. All right. We'll wait just a little bit longer, and I think we can get started after.
Now, Albert, where are you right now? I don't recognize that background.
That is
in Mountain View for sure.
Yeah, look at that.
Speaking of Random World of Warcraft card.
Yeah, nice. And so I have a friend who was a story, like the story editor for World of Warcraft.
Nice.
And,
I know a few designers.
He's now in charge of all the storylines for what's it called? Hearthstone.
Hearthstone. Okay, and I'm a Hearthstone player myself quite a lot as well.
Very cool. Excellent. So in this game, you don't have to make funny voices or anything like that. I do, and I just have fun at it. So don't worry about it if you don't. It's okay. You don't have to act things out. You can just say, my guy does this, my guy does that, whatever you're comfortable with. But have fun, right? I personally like to act things out as best I can, which I'm a horrible actor. So, and
Jason, are you not in the cafe today?
I am not. I am not. I did not have as much time to prep this time as I ordinarily would.
Busy Monday?
Yeah, a little. Well, just the afternoon was particularly was fuller than I expected.
Was it?
Yeah, but that's not a terrible thing.
No, definitely not.
There's definitely a joke in there somewhere.
Don't forget to tip your waitresses.
That's right, kid.
I still want to meet the Watcher.
The who?
The Watcher that used to be you.
Oh, that's just my secondary screen here. He's observing. All right. All right, I'm going to close my door and get things ready.
For those who haven't followed along, Luis did such a great job on our Simply Safe meeting last week. I had to outfit my entire house with Simply Safe. Highly recommended.
Do you feel safer?
Nope, but I hear beeps every time somebody opens the door.
Oh, well.
I actually hear beeps in my
It
sleep.
works.
It goes.
I think that's a condition.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a kid's game or an iPad or an Android tablet, but I'm hearing beeping all the time.
Probably a smoke detector with a low battery.
Yeah. Those I
That's
unplugged.
that is like, I get one of those at 3 a.m. It will wake me no matter how deeply I am sleeping. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I cut the cord, but it was the wrong cord.
My air conditioning went out last night on upstairs.
Thankfully, it's not
no.
too hot.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
My parents have a RV and they keep a secondary air conditioner, so I went and picked that up from their house today. Otherwise, I'd be in terrible shape.
We need to buy tiny houses from Cavco, our customer.
No, it says something about America that some of us live in places where you need air conditioning in April.
Yeah, it's called Seattle and Portland.
Not, I don't need air conditioning in April.
Texas.
Oh yeah, I got up to like
Northern
85
Mexico.
degrees today.
85? Oh my word!
Yeah,
It was literally, what was it on? I think it was Saturday. It got up to like 92 in South Lake. South Lake, not a cloud in the sky, and it was beating down on us.
Pretty sure it's gotten to 100 in April before, but I can't say that.
Wouldn't
for sure.
surprise me.
Okay.
Sorry, Jason, I reversed that. My brain thought you meant heat
Wait.
in April. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no. Heat, yeah, sure. My furnace is still on, but yeah.
Are you in Portland?
No, I'm in Seattle.
Okay. I thought I heard Oregon last week.
So, okay. So what I'll do is I'll recap, and if we get our few, a few latecomers, we'll deal with them as they come. So to recap what happened last time, and Albert, for our purposes, well, actually, I think I have an idea of how to insert you into the story here. So we were left off. You guys had arrived to the town of Jute's Landing, the city of Jute's Landing, and while watching a play showing how, or that basically kind of celebrated the founding of the town when Jute, what was his last name? Windbrow, basically kind of established a town by driving away a group of hags. They're like witches, and during that period of time, you guys got your pockets picked, right? The team got their pockets picked, and they chased down a young man who ultimately led them to a warehouse, right? You guys were led to a warehouse that took you, a good hour or so to figure out exactly how you're going to infiltrate it.
Okay.
Because we absolutely don't overthink anything here. So
Okay.
anyway, so you guys entered the warehouse all ready for something, and the warehouse was empty, but you did find the secret entrance right by a desk there that took you down a spiral staircase into this long passageway, and eventually you found the leader of the dock rats, and it is a woman whose name is
Remy Falco.
Remy Falcon, exactly right, or Falco. Not related to the Falco of the 1980s, come and rock me Amadeus.
Why not?
Yeah, did I just like, oh, yeah, Trisha's going, it's like,
I was born in the 90s, guys.
Yeah. Okay, Google Amadeus by Falco.
Classic. Oh, classic.
And you'll never want to join one of these games again. So yeah, so we left it with you guys basically securing a deal with Remy um, to where she said that she stole, among other, not just your money, but she had also stolen the key to the waterworks, and she's having second thoughts about the person that she gave the keys to, and it was his name is Gerwin. Oh gosh, what is Gerwin's last name?
Reuter.
Reuter, exactly. Thank you. Somebody's been taking notes. So you know what? Give yourself one inspiration for taking notes. All
Hey,
right.
if I have it, can I drop that inspiration?
Oh, look at that. Okay,
I already have one.
Payman also gets one inspiration. So you each have one inspiration right from the get-go, because that's how we work here. Great. So hold on a second here. So let's see. Okay, yes. So Gerwin Reuter, who Remy reminds you is has two orcs that serves as his butlers. Lives in an estate. On one of the streets in the town, which she can give you directions, but you decide to spend the night, get some rest, and get ready to kind of tackle this situation in the morning. You wake up and you're served breakfast, and there, sitting at the breakfast table, along with a couple other members of Remy's crew, is this guy, what is he? Looks like he's a fire genasi, and he is sitting down, just kind of, I don't know. Well, you tell me, Albert. What's he doing?
Eating his oatmeal. Who knows?
Yeah, is he in a grumpy mood? Is he like, or is he all cheerful? What's he like?
Probably like a handover move. How about that?
Okay, he had one too many last night, right? So he's just like, just eating his, porridge, and he's already doing the hair of the dog thing. He's got, a mug of ale, trying to chase down the alcohol with more alcohol.
Nice.
And so yeah, he's sitting there, and Remy goes, "Oh, good, you've met." It's like, no, you really haven't, but she assumes that you've met. It's like, I think I want Narrow to join you on this, to serve as my eyes and ears, and he can be. I'm sure he can be of some use to you. I think he might know how to fight. So just in case there's any fighting to be done. So that's it. Albert, if you want to introduce your character, feel free. If not, don't worry, it's all good. Just take your pick.
So my character is like a close range, kind of like fighters, more on the dark side. Considering getting to the middle of like dark and lights, it's like a neutral character. I play lots of Overwatch, so like the character is inspired by things like Junkrat, or if you have watched any type of manga series called the Hunter x Hunter, there's a virtual game.
Blow things up.
Like there's a like a bomb demon kind of like special abilities from one of the character, which is evil, I guess.
I'm a little bit of a Yu Yu Hakusho kind of guy, so I might relate it to Hiei. I don't know.
Let's go around the virtual table, and let's just let all the players introduce their characters. We'll start with Josh, who has renamed his character to Dangeray.
Danger. Just call me Danger.
Danger the Ranger.
You call me Danger, so I'm Danger. Well, first of all, Albert, do you still have your wallet? I just want to make sure that we have our money.
Yes, by that morning, you are returned the money, and you're promised 50 gold each for retrieving the key and making this particular potential problem go away. So you will each get 50 gold. But yes, she was able to get your money back, and you recognized your purses, and you were able to kind of count the money, and it's all there.
Can I
Just wanna
try
make
to
sure Albert
negotiate for
has-
more money?
Say again.
Can I try to say money's missing from my purse? I would
You can check.
Can we go that route?
You want to say you want to
Yeah, I want
assert
to be
that
like,
your
hey,
money's missing.
I'm missing about 15 extras here. I don't know who's siphoning this off, but
All right.
All right. Nice.
let's
It's not a stolen
let's
case.
do either persuasion or intimidation, and you're doing this against Remy.
whoever hands me
She's the one that personally handed it to you.
Yeah.
All
All right.
right, go for it.
Persuasion.
It's a contested roll.
All right, I use my inspiration on this. Here we go.
All right.
Okay, that first one was a 16 plus. Do I have anything for persuasion? I have +0, so we'll go 16.
Do you have
and then-
deception?
I have 8. I have 16 and 8.
Oh yeah, if you have
Deception,
deception, you can use the highest of deception, persuasion, or intimidation, depending on the approach you want
I
to use.
have none of those. Yeah, so it's a 16. It's a 16.
All right, that's with advantage,
Yeah.
or what I mean with the extra die roll. Okay.
Yeah.
You lost by well, yeah. She rolled
I
an
lost.
18 plus her bonus.
Oh, dang. All right.
So she was like, I know for a fact that this is what you know, this is what was in your wallet or in your
Good.
purse.
I'm glad you're running a tight operation. Just checking.
I trust my crew. We definitely run a tight operation.
All
And
right.
so with that, you know, you guys are free to go to the Reuter estate. And if there's any additional work that you want to do prior to going to the estate, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just head on over there. So take a moment to talk amongst yourselves. Is there any planning, any, whatever?
Mira's gonna go up to Albert. What's your character's name again? I'm terrible with names. Sorry.
Naru.
Naru.
Yeah.
Okay. Mira's gonna go up to Naru and say, "Hi, I'm Mira. Nice to meet you."
Nice to meet you too, Mira.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have
I'm-
more cool characters. I guess like it will give you a 30 look or something like that.
Since I didn't get a chance to introduce my character to you, she is a cleric. She is lawful good. And currently she believes that Payman can be persuaded to be good.
Mm-hmm.
So she believes that her calling is to help Payman realize the greatness that is being good in life.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so she's good to a fault, like if that makes sense. Like she's
A total goody.
It's adorable.
trusting. So
Nice.
Payman's able to sometimes convince her to
What is the race?
she's human.
Human. Okay.
Yep, she's a human cleric.
Well, that's lovely to have a human cleric on the team. Cool. What's next? It's like then where this kind of Reuter state, like what we should expect in that space. Like what is a town or is a dungeon? What it is?
Oh, the place that you're in,
Yeah.
it's an underground lair. It's it's not exactly like super well appointed or anything like that, but it's it's clean. It is not terribly dank or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of use. There's it's a combination storage as well as dining and lodging and stuff like that for for this gang of thieves basically who run the docks, if you will. So yeah, you guys but you are underground. There are other potential exits out of here, but most people come in and out through the warehouse or whatever.
Got it. All right.
Yeah. And you have some familiarity with the place, so I'll tell you that there's one additional exit that leads through basically like a sewer pipe and up to the street level. No problem.
So is there any treasure being hidden in this layer or something
No,
below?
no. The goal here is to just get out of here, and go find the
Estate.
Reuter estate and see if you can retrieve the key from Gerwin Reuter.
Got it.
Well, Bunglefoot, I don't know about you. I turn to him, and as I take a drink of my own ale, because there's nothing like cold ale in the morning to wake up these demon bones. Nothing's better than waking up than ale in your cup. That's the original TM.
Yes.
I don't know about you, Bunglefoot and Danger the Ranger, but I could definitely use some bat guano and a little bit of sulfur. You guys want to run into town and get some equipment before we kick this off?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, now that we got my money back,
Yeah,
on it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Go.
can't hurt to just double check.
Yeah.
Get your alcohol
See what they
pill
have.
on that.
Apparently,
I
it's an
cheers-
entire city whose economy revolves around the thievery industry. So,
Like retail.
I
yeah,
mean, these prices, right? Highway robbery. All right,
Those
Nero,
are
I
distributors.
cheers you. I cheers you, and I say, feel free to join us. So, I'm off. I don't know my way back, but I'm off. I mean, I might.
All
he
right.
just walks out the door
I just walk
Okay,
out
no
the
in no
problem.
random,
Do
no
that.
direction.
So I'll just double checking something. I found an inconsistency in the story. I want to make sure that I got this right. Okay. Yep. Nope. Got it.
Can I interest anyone else in bat guano? I can pick some extra up if anyone needs it.
Help yourself.
Okay, thank you. Double portions for me.
All right. So you go about town, you want to get your supplies and everything else. So you secure them unless, there's something in particular that might be a little harder to find or whatever. All right. So are we ready to go?
All right.
Yes.
All right, let's do
Yeah.
this. So, after meeting back at the warehouse, you guys exit and follow the directions given to you to the Reuter estate. Well, the Reuter estate is not as impressive as the others on this street. There's a wrought iron fence that along the front that is just rusted, and in fact, the front gate is just completely missing. The lands, are just not particularly well kept. It seems that at least at first glances, that the proprietors either don't care about their property, or maybe they've fallen on bad times, on rough times. So the estate itself, it's got a decently sized yard. By that I mean maybe it's a little less than a quarter of an acre in the front, with a what would have been a really nice kind of paved path along, a series of trees and stuff like that into the main building, which itself is on the slightly larger size and modest, right? 2-story estate, maybe qualify as the kinds of McMansions you might find over in Dallas, actually. Maybe Flower Mound or something like that. 7,000, 8,000 square feet at most. 2 stories. And once again, just the property just doesn't look like it's been as well kept as it could have. There are signs of trying to, like the front door, the entrance to the front door, and the front steps. They're swept clean. The brass has been polished on the doorknobs and stuff like that. And somebody maybe made an effort to put some flowers up front, but yeah, overall, there's just these signs of disrepair. So what do you guys want to do in terms of making your way to the estate?
Does it look like there's any security?
No, not at the
orcs?
moment. From where you can see, I mean, you can see that there might be activity in the house. The some curtains are open, some are drawn. the place doesn't strike you as being a place that's like on high alert or anything along those lines. And at the moment there's nobody outside of the estate or the
Any
mansion.
smoke coming from the chimneys?
Yeah, probably from a cook fire right in the kitchens, and you can smell, something. It could be a stew, it could be, just certainly the smell of wood
Okay.
burning coming through.
All right.
What
So-
about the activity on the rest of the street, especially his neighbors?
Yeah, the street is just slightly busy. Like the morning rush has just started to wane. So every so often a carriage kind of goes by, or like a chimney sweep might be trying to ply his trade or something along those lines. But we're not talking about a lot of people. Like at any given point in time, within a 50 to 100-foot radius of you guys, there might be two or three, others, just somewhere in the vicinity crossing or whatever.
Okay. So our large group would be quite conspicuous.
It's conspicuous enough. I mean, parties of either adventurers or even militia, certainly always call some attention. But at the moment, nobody seems to be terribly alarmed.
So while I love the knocking approach we took last time, guys, we may want to lean more into a strategic approach to ensure that we can return this property to its rightful owner, and to make sure that in the house is found by us and that's not noticed by anyone else.
Yeah, maybe we should check the backyard. Just go to the house.
I'm looking at Danger and our rogue primarily. I definitely think you guys are going to be our strongest here. Do you guys have any ideas?
Yeah. So is there is there a somewhat, like, how open is the air, the grounds outside around the house? Are there trees, or is it all, is there cover or not?
So your question again?
So how much, if we were to try to sneak around to the back of the house,
Yes.
and so, like, how
much cover would you find?
Exactly.
It's doable.
Okay.
So
It's doable.
also, Danger, do you have Pass Without a Trace? I know it's a ranger ability.
I don't think I do.
Oh, dang.
Let
Right.
me look a couple times, but I don't believe I do.
I just dropped a link to the 5e.
Yeah,
the
I
spell site.
looked last time. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Pulling up the characters as well, just so I can have them.
Yeah, I mean, being lucky isn't going to help.
It can help. Let's see.
Being brave is like a Disney movie. And I like to talk to beasts, although I can't say it.
Danger Doolittle.
Pretty much.
Ranger.
Yes.
Silence.
Let it go.
I have disadvantage on stealth checks, by the way, because I'm in heavy armor. I'm
So-
terrible at being stealthy.
Good to know.
Yeah. So I was going to offer before that I do have stealth and also investigation. I don't know if it's going to help at this point right now.
Well, I'd have you roll stealth to sneak around, and I'm looking at his skills. I don't see Pass Without a Trace.
No.
In here.
I have stealth as well. +4.
Can I? Payman looks around to see if there's any kind of path or doorway or other opportunity to enter the house other than just like the bum rush.
Well, there are a few windows at ground level, and just visible from the front, and there are enough shrubs and trees and just vegetation, plus just tall vegetation, just as a result of these people not particularly keeping a well manicured property at the moment.
Look at me, I'm 3 feet tall.
yeah, could allow you to look around further, but there's invariably, the basic designs. I mean, there's bound to be perhaps some kind of a basement entrance, off to the side, one or the other. There's probably, a kitchen, entrance. There's a small stable here,
Right.
so presumably there's a service entrance, as well as, of course, some kind of a back door leading into the backyard, and presumably a place for entertaining, stuff like that. So
So
that's kind of what you would expect.
the question would be, do you guys want to stay together on this one instead of splitting up like we did last time?
It's probably a good idea.
Don't split the
Yeah, well, I
party.
don't.
But you
Yeah.
can play
Oh wait, I heard a voice. I heard a voice of God.
He said go. He said go.
No, do what you want. Do what you want.
I can give
Um,
guidance. That'll give them additional D4 to stealth.
Yeah.
All right.
I say let's sneak it up. Do you guys do our rogues
stealth?
want to head us up?
well, I mean, maybe if hey, Danger, how's your climbing? I'm wondering if do we see any windows open on the second floor, or is it? I'm just like, are there? Judging from the time period, I'm guessing they don't have double hung casement windows. But are the windows secured, or are there any that are open on either the first or the second story, from what we can see?
On the first story, there are some open windows.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well,
And since you asked, as far as climbing, I'm 3 feet tall. There's not so much.
But you got plenty of tall people
Oh,
who
yeah.
can just kind of.
Get on their backs.
yeah, I have the second story work class.
Yeah, I mean, if
Featured.
you want, there, I would guarantee you that there's an open window in upstairs as well, just not in the front of the house.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking that the upstairs is probably, especially if they're cooking, then they're probably downstairs on the main floor. And
Yeah, that's a
upstairs
good
might be a
point.
more accessible way to get in.
Yeah, either go from the top or go from the bottom, because he even mentioned there's likely a basement entrance, probably around back. There's definitely conflict awaiting there, but there also might be greater loot there.
Yeah, well, I'm also not super excited about having our what is it, -3 to stealth check, full plate mail clad cleric trying to climb up to the second
Climb
story.
up to the second. So do you want to go? Do you want to circle around back and look for like a lower entrance?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm just going to try to go in the back. I'm
Okay.
just trying to sneak. I'm just going to reconnoiter here real quick.
All right, you're gonna take a look at the back. All right. So as you're passing the back, you do actually find the kitchen entrance, and there's at least one orc cooking in the kitchen, and seems to be just plating something as you kind of walk by. The door itself is cracked open, maybe to let some air in, and there the windows are open as well. And you're not detected, and I'm just I rolled stealth for you since I can see what you have here. Yeah, no problem. Just to keep it simple. And as you kind of continue around, hiding behind the bushes and stuff like that, you do see the back of the estate looks a little bit nicer than the front. Still a little unkempt, but it has some fountains and a gazebo, and definitely a place for entertaining and stuff like that. This could have been, a very beautiful estate, or could be a very beautiful estate if it were well kept. But the signs of neglect are evident.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
there are more open windows here as well.
There are, or
there are
not?
more open windows here. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Are you sure you don't want to go to the gazebo and perform, draw everyone out?
Always knock on the front door.
Charging into the kitchen.
He said, "Let's just kill him. Just charge it."
Yeah.
Blaze it.
Okay. Like I guess. So I'm wondering whether so I guess effectively, I've surveyed the property now. I can circle back
Survey,
up
you
with
have
the
a
party.
pretty good lay of the land.
Okay, all right.
This is, as I said, the place does not seem to be on high alert.
Okay.
And you've seen, what looks to be like evidence of just life going on as usual, as you might otherwise expect. And yeah, like there's no obvious signs of traps or security. There are no
Yeah.
guards or anything along those lines.
There's just an orcish cook.
There's
Also, I can alter self if we do want to take this orcish cook out. Like if we're raiding, like we need to determine like how we're about to go in. I can alter self and mimic her for an hour.
Wow. Whoa. Okay. That's
yeah.
very
So like, I mean, it's a level 2 spell, so like that's I only have a few of those. So if this is like how hard we want to go, it's definitely doable.
I don't know that we need to do that.
Okay.
I mean, I get it, but I mean, until right now, the problem is that we don't know where to go in the building,
Mhm.
right? So we don't.
But that
we
orc
don't-
can travel freely.
You what?
I said that orc can travel freely. So if we can,
guys, yeah.
if we can take that orc out quietly, I can travel freely through the house and get a lay of it while disguised. It's just an idea, not pushing either way.
Yeah, and then your ability
All
to put it to sleep.
All right. I'll give you guys one more minute to decide.
Okay.
Nice. I love it.
I'll do it with my hourglass.
Ooh, that's a what?
Wow.
You mean a minute glass?
Well, true.
Minute hourglass.
It's all the technicalities.
Still 60 of a unit.
I mean,
Oh, so go for it.
I'm just trying to. Does it make? I mean, if it were me, I would just go up on the second floor, crawl in through a window, try to find where the bedroom is, and then
About 30 seconds.
or maybe we just surveil the property for the first day just to kind of see what his comings and goings are.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
Just want to
conscious.
say, if this were
Jason.
if this were a malicious person looking who just has the keys to the city's waterworks
Oh,
and wants to enact, some
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of sinister
Yeah,
deed,
okay. So there is
I'm
a
not
sense of
sure-
haste here.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
that
Okay.
being,
It's not
a
just-
day, is.
I think
prudent.
Luis really wants us to do something.
I'm just
guys.
suggesting that you take some action. Time's up.
God,
But
is that you?
So what's the final call?
I'm gonna go climb up to the second story, see if I can see
All
anything
right.
up there.
All right, are you splitting up then?
Well, I'm not bringing the cleric.
You head up there. I'm gonna,
Yeah, how
do,
does Mira feel about this?
I'm gonna do a warding bond on you, if you're willing.
Sure. What does
What
that
it-
mean?
Does is I touch a willing creature and it creates a mystic connection between us until the spell ends. When the target is within 60 feet of you, it gains +1 bonus to AC and saving throws and has resistance to all damage.
Ooh.
Also, each time it takes damage, you take the same damage.
Ooh. Oh man. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, you get resistance to damage. I take the same amount, so I assume I have take the resistance amount. That's how I'm reading it. And plus you get a +1 bonus to AC and saving throws. So I feel like it'd be really helpful since
Yeah.
kind of going in there without.
I
us
think-
to back up.
I think I should go in, scout the house, see if I can figure out at least what room is, so that when if we all decide to go in later, we have the direct path. We can get in and out as quickly as possible. No, we don't
Yeah,
have to
it's
search
secure
the
though.
house.
So you have to stay within 60 feet of me for that to work. So if you're gonna
Okay.
run inside
And the home is more than 60 feet across. I mean, it's
yeah. So
easily,
maybe we should wait on that,
3
and
or
I
4
can
times that.
Yeah,
width.
let me just do it myself for now.
Yeah, you do
I'll
it,
give you
and then I'll.
guidance instead, and you.
I
Can use
will
that.
help you. Like if she stays within one side of the building, then I will just kind of give you coverage, give her halo, if you will, her aura. I will allow for that to cover that side of the house
Okay.
to make things simple.
Is there any indication from the architecture on the outside in terms of like where the most secure place in the house would be? Like, is there
Not
like
from
a
the
tower
outside.
anywhere? Or is it all
No,
just a big
all
block?
the windows are
Okay.
are fairly evenly spaced.
All
you
right.
know.
It is truly a McMansion.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's nothing remarkable about this this home.
All right.
Right.
All right, so you climb up, and you spot an open window, and it just slides open the rest of the way without any difficulty. You slide in, and you find yourself in a child's room. The room is uh, it's spacious. The bed is made. But there's a layer of dust kind of covering everything.
Mm.
And there are toys, and you can see little drawings from a child or something along those lines, and maybe some silhouette cutouts, like
Mm.
how you might find
Mhm.
in some vintage type places. And yeah, there's a certain kind of sadness and emptiness to the room
Mm. Is
that's
the
palpable.
drawing, the paper drawing, is that already turning yellows? Like it feels maybe
So somewhat. I
decades.
mean, yeah,
You're getting
it's not
dark, man.
necessarily. They're not. The drawings are not necessarily like 30 years old. They're more like they. If you were to kind of take a stab, or heck, some of them might even have a date, and the
Mm.
date, the most recent one maybe was 9 months ago or something like
Okay.
that.
All
Okay.
right. All right.
All right. So old,
Yeah,
but
but there's
not.
still dust and whatnot. The window was open, presumably to let some fresh air in or out.
Okay.
But the fireplace is long cold.
Okay,
It's been
fireplace. Okay.
there's no wood in it, and no ashes, so it has not been used in a long time.
Do you
All
know
right.
it's a
So
boys or girls' room?
It is a room, unless I'm mistaken. Yep.
all right. So,
Okay,
but
good.
it doesn't look like. I mean, this doesn't feel like there's a room where there's a whole lot of interest.
No, no, not
Nothing seems
really. I
out of
mean, it's just
place.
a door leads to the outside. It is closed. There's another window in the other wall, just kind of providing a cross breeze of sorts.
Hmm.
And that's it. That window kind of allows you to look into the backyard.
Okay.
I'm gonna look into the backyard. What do I see?
You see what you saw before,
Okay.
just from the new
Nothing
perspective.
different from that perspective.
No.
Okay.
Maybe a few
Yeah.
feet.
All right. I'm just gonna test the latch. I just want to see if
Yep.
it's
The
gonna be really
latch
squeaky.
gives no trouble at
Locked.
all. It
Okay.
creaks a little bit. So if you want to do it a little bit quietly, I'll let you
Mhm.
just roll a quick little stealth check.
All right.
17.
All right, very good. You're fine. Yeah, so you muffle the sound and you just make it through, and yeah, it's you find yourself in a hallway. A red kind of carpet type runner runs the length of this uh, of this entire floor.
Okay.
So you can look left and right, and you see kind of the wall that signifies, kind of, let's say, the south end of the house, right? And then there are multiple doors, and somewhere in the middle, the space seems to open up, perhaps some kind of a grand staircase or something like that. And then the runner continues onto the other wing of the building.
Okay.
And there are decorations around, mirrors, family portraits, um, um, vases, and some busts and stuff like that.
Any of the family portraits have a kid?
Yeah, they in fact they do. They show what could presumably be, some of them are older people and members of the family, long ago. They're not necessarily captioned in any way, but they do seem to go kind of chronologically from kind of the founder of the family, whatever, down the generations. And so the most recent generation includes um, uh, you see like a man, woman, and baby, and then um, a second painting, presumably more recent, shows just the man, a little bit older, a little bit grayer, and a child, now a young child, but no woman, and the child is older.
Hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
Is the human race? Is the-
They're humans, yes, they're humans.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna. So, am I at one end of the hall, or do I have a choice on going left or right?
Basically, it's a left or right, and then there are various doors along the way. So let's say on this wing, there may be 2 or 3 additional doors that you can explore. And on the other wing, probably something similar. It's a fairly symmetrical building.
Okay, so I'm kind of in the middle right now.
Yep. Well,
Okay.
you're in the, you're in one
Oh.
wing, right? So
Yeah, the middle of
you're
the
in the
whatever
middle of this
wing.
wing, right?
Yeah.
In the middle of this wing.
Are-
Or technically the very first room on this wing, there might be a door across from you. There might
Yep.
be some other room. And then 2 more doors, one left, one right, and then the what could be the staircase.
Yep.
You could use
And then it's the other wing on the other side of that.
and then yeah.
And my coverage from Mira is only really on this wing.
On this wing of the house. Exactly
Okay.
right.
That's a good question.
Okay, so I'm gonna check I'm just gonna try to go the door closest to the Great Hall area. I'm gonna try that one first.
The closest to the one that's directly across from you?
So you said is there 3 doors total on this whole wing?
4 doors total. 4 doors
4 doors
total.
total.
Yeah.
So
So
there's
just to
one.
keep it simple. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
I'm just drawing a little. I'm
gonna go ahead and sketch
sketch.
it for you just to kind of. Actually, I could. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Gonna sketch it here. So basically, so your wing of the house looks something like this,
Okay.
right? So you just where's my pen? Hold on. You just exited out of
Oh,
here.
okay. Yep.
And so you have a door here. I'm not showing you whether there's another room here, but presumably because there's another door here, there's a room. You can kind of assume that that's kind of what it looks like.
Okay, I'm gonna do the room next to me first.
Next door, immediately next door. Okay. You go ahead and you.
Before I do, what are the walls made out of?
Well, the structure is the outside is clad in kind of brick, right?
Mhm.
And the inside is wood. And in fact, like you're standing on carpeted wood, right?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So if I go back in the first room and I listen on the wall into the other room, do I hear anything?
Sure. Great idea. So go ahead and roll a perception, please.
Perception. All right. Oh, I got a 1, but I'm lucky.
You're lucky. So re-roll that 1.
Let's see here. 11,
Oh, interesting. You can stretch my-
15. So I got a 15 with the bonus.
Okay. All right. So you listen, you don't hear anything, but you do feel a palpable warmth coming from there. Perhaps the fireplace in that room is currently on.
Oh, okay. Interesting. In the door that goes into this room, is there a keyhole?
Yeah, there's a keyhole.
All right.
All the doors have keyholes.
So if I go very carefully, into the hallway and I'm listening for anybody coming, and I go, are the other doors were closed?
All the doors are closed.
Okay. So can I peek in the keyhole of the room next to me?
Can you peek in the keyhole?
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead and actually, it's fairly easy to peek. I mean, so you see that the room is the window's open. Or I say the window, the curtains are drawn or drawn open, right? And from what little you can see straight across, and this could be perhaps some kind of a study. Directly across from you is a window, and to the right of it, some kind of a bookshelf, right, bookcase,
Mhm.
and that's all you can see, aside from also warmth, like a warm light coming from perhaps a fire, just kind of and crackling nearby.
Okay. So I'm just going to do the same sort of check on the other 2 doors. If I can
So
see anything through
just
the
as you
keyhole.
turn around, you see a apparently a very stealthy orc, because he managed to sneak up on you. Like I said,
Oh,
like holding a tray of food, and he just goes like drops it. It's like intruder. Roll for initiative.
Great.
Do his party members hear that outside?
Everybody roll perception, please.
perception. Okay.
And
At
so
11.
for Albert, that will be a roll of d20, a 20-sided die. And to that, you go into your character sheet and look for the perception skill and add the bonus, the plus number that comes next to it. It could very well be a +0. In fact, looking at your character here, you get a plus. I'm sorry, that's
Yeah,
payment.
I have +0. Yes.
Yeah, you have a
Oh,
0.
oh,
Yeah. So
you're
just
14, so
basically just
total-
roll the 20-sided die and tell me the number. I am looking for a 14 or higher.
I'm exactly 14.
Okay, then you're fine. Anybody roll below a 14?
I did.
Okay, if anybody, as long as the rest of the party rolled a 14 or higher, then everybody outside is aware of what just happened. So yes, you hear this loud intruder, so something's obviously happened, and as
I got a 14 for initiative.
yeah, I needed everybody to roll initiative. So basically, Albert, roll a d20, and Danger as well. Roll a d20, and then you're going to see in your character sheet you have an initiative bonus.
Okay.
Bunglefoot has a +3, for example.
Yes.
Naru has a +2. Danger has a +3, and Mira has a 0. So yeah, so let's hear that initiative order, please. We said 14 for
14 for Bunglefoot, including the
Bunglefoot.
bonus.
Okay. Anybody roll higher than a 14?
14 plus 3.
Yep. Okay, so 17 for Danger. And Payman?
18.
18.
I only roll 8.
Okay. So
Is that with your
Naru-
bonus?
I don't have any bonus, I guess. Yeah, it's 0.
And Mira? You're muted?
Yes, I am. I rolled a 9.
9. All right. Mira, let's see. Mira, your dexterity is 10.
That's 0.
Yeah. So let me check. I'm just trying to break a tie.
Oh.
I was looking for orc and I accidentally typed Orcus. Some of you know who that is, and you do not want to be fighting Orcus. Okay, yeah. The order is going to be Payman, Danger, Bunglefoot, the orcs, Mira, and Naru. Okay.
Mhm.
So yes, after hearing that exclamation, it is Payman's turn. You are all outside. The nearest entrance is the kitchen entrance, since that's kind of the wall that the Bunglefoot climbed.
Yeah,
So-
I was gonna ask, can I attempt to climb the wall and base that in acrobatics, or if
yes,
that's
that
gonna
will
derail?
allow- Yeah, you can use your acrobatic skill for that,
Right.
and your movement is halved, but you should be able to climb, and have a few feet of movement left after you climb up.
Okay, cool.
Okay. You're just trying to do it in a
Ooh.
hurry.
14. I have 14.
14 is enough for this.
Okay.
The vines and the crevices in the bricks are, they're climbable. And so you are able to climb and kind of squeeze through the door. What you're seeing is the kid's room, an open door, and some kind of a commotion just outside. You have about 10 feet of movement left. I'll give you that much. which is just enough to get into the hallway.
Can I get a vantage on the door, just like an angle on the door to where I can see out, but maybe they couldn't necessarily see in immediately?
Unfortunately, not really. If you
Yeah,
recall, Bunglefoot was examining the door immediately next door,
you're
and
right.
so line of sight is really just tight. So unfortunately, no. And
Yeah, you'd be seeing the back of me anyway.
yeah. All
Right.
you can really see is a door directly across from you, and some kind of a just a little table with maybe some flowers, a vase with flowers, and a painting against a wallpapered wall, right? So that's about as much as you can see from your vantage point, no
All right,
matter
then
how
I
unless
just
you
stay
stick
where
your
I
head
am.
out.
I just stay where I am.
Okay, you're gonna stay where you are. Okay, it is Danger's turn.
So what are my choices?
Well, if you want to go in, you can go in through the kitchen. Or you can go in through, which, by the way, the kitchen is now empty. You can tell that much, since the orc that was cooking was the one that was bringing up the food, and so yeah, so the kitchen is empty. So you can go in through the kitchen, or you can climb up and basically follow payment. Um, or you
I'm
can
gonna
just go
climb up.
through. Okay, all right. So basically, just roll d20 and add to it your. I will allow either your athletics or your acrobatics skill, whichever one is higher.
I don't think I have acrobatics or athletics.
You
Joking.
have acrobatics. You get a +3.
So I rolled a 1. I'm lucky. I get to roll again.
Yes, good.
So 17, either 3 acrobatics or 1 athletics. So I'm going to do 3. So
Okay,
20.
yeah. So you get a dirty 20. So yeah, you climb up with much less difficulty than payment, and you make it up. No problem. I'll give you all your halfling. So yeah, you two can also basically just get just out of the door if you wanted to, but you see Payman is kind of standing inside the room. Okay. Next up, Bunglefoot.
How much room? So first question, is there a window at the end of the hall or no?
Yeah, there's a window directly behind you.
Okay.
I say behind you, but basically at the end of the hallway on your wing. Yeah, so
Mhm.
that brings in some natural light and ventilation. So yeah, and there's one on the other side as well.
Do I think I could actually, so I'm right next to that one door. Could I skip in there and shut it behind me?
The door to the study or whatever
Yeah.
that you were just. Yeah, you can give it a go. You got enough movement to
Yeah,
do that.
I'll do that. I'm trying to figure out what I mean, is there, I'll just do that just to get in the room and close the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then can I see, is there any lock on the door that can be locked from the inside, or is it?
Okay, so you open the door and immediately you see you become aware of the rest of the room. It is indeed some kind of a study, and it has a desk, and there's a portly graying man who you recognize from the paintings there, and he's holding what seems to be a letter opener. He's like, oh, thief, leave.
All right, to counter.
And yeah,
Okay.
that's what you see. So now, do you still want to lock yourself in the room with this gentleman? I guess is the question. With a letter opener.
Well, old man versus with a letter opener versus, does the orc have any weapons?
The orc had a tray. If the orc is armed, you haven't quite noticed yet.
All right. Is there anything? Is there anything on the desk? Like, can I see like the key on the desk? Chance I can do a grab and go.
It is cluttered with papers, and it would take a proper search to try to. There's papers. There's a couple coins. There's like a candle. There's, it's just too much clutter in there for you to be able to identify a key.
Okay. I'm just checking my equipment for a second.
Okay.
Are there any large pieces of furniture? So there's a big. Is there
Yeah,
any
there's
other big furniture in the room?
chairs. There's some kind of a coffee table and a comfortable kind of more couchy type thing, kind of facing the fire. There's books everywhere, bookcases, and other miscellaneous things. What are you looking to accomplish?
I'm wondering if there's any how is there any place I could climb up on top of?
The rooms I would say probably are 10-foot ceilings, kind of vaulted, not vaulted. What was I going to say? Coffered ceilings,
Mm-hmm.
and so the shelving is all kind of floor to ceiling shelving, and so what you have is indeed there's a step, or whatever it's called, a ladder. That's what it's called. That presumably can be moved around so that you can reach kind of some of the books up above. So you can climb up the ladder. There's nothing you can stand on other than the ladder.
Okay.
And a desk, and perhaps like a coffee table, or some of the miscellaneous pieces of furniture in the room.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump up on the little coffee table.
Yep.
And then I'm going to take my bag of 1,000 ball bearings, and I'm going to spill that on the floor. See if I can get this guy to.
Okay, that's what you do
fall.
with your turn. That's
Yeah.
your action. All right, very good. So doesn't take much effort to accomplish exactly what you said you would do. So you take the ball bearings, you throw them on the floor as you jump onto the coffee table. So presumably, you're aiming all the ball bearings towards the hallway, really, right?
Yeah, like so if I'm trying to get from the door to the table and then kind of like scatter them kind of behind me, because I'd like to be able to, best case, I'm trying to create some chaos up there so that the rest of the party can come in and have a little bit of an advantage. Worst case, I want to slow them as I go out the window.
Okay. All right. No problem. Okay. Let me just double check here. Okay. So, yep, you do that. No problem. Next up is, the orc. So the orc has not seen any of your colleagues, and so he just runs straight into the room. He doesn't seem to be armed, but he runs into the room. He steps on the ball bearings, and he succeeded on his dex check. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him half movement. Not that it matters in these close quarters, but he did succeed on his dex check. So what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to grapple you. So what's your armor class?
14.
All right. I think he's going to fail. Yep. He tried to grapple you, and he failed. So yep, that was his turn. Uh, those of you inside the house, you can hear some kind of a commotion downstairs, and heavy footsteps perhaps coming up the stairs. Next up is Mira. Adnasu, you're after. No worries.
She has to finish chewing. Don't choke.
Yeah.
Actually or metaphorically.
So my spell is still active because it's been less than an hour. So Bunglefoot still has
right.
DC.
Yep, and he's still within the radius.
Yep. So I'm gonna start moving to climb up because I assumed I stayed downstairs. I didn't.
Yes, you're currently downstairs. Yep. So only Danger and Bunglefoot and Payman are upstairs. Naru is with you, and yep. So at the moment,
I have 30 feet of movement. How much of that is it gonna take to get into the second floor window?
Through the window, you just need a dex check, DC 12.
Oh, I'm not great at dex checks, guys.
Let's see what happens.
But you had what? Was it negative?
Yeah, I'm a 0, but
Okay, at least you're even on it.
yeah. I 2.
Yeah, so it's not that you fall, right? It's like you just can't quite get a good grip on the stairs,
Gauntlets.
on the vines
Yeah.
and the bricks. So you technically still have your movement, right? So you can just try going through the kitchen, or you can stay outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna not. I can't do this. Climbing's not my thing. I'm gonna
Climbing
go
doesn't
through
seem to
the
be your thing.
Yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can help you out by healing, but if I go through the kitchen, it'll be hard to maintain 60 feet.
Well, the kitchen is directly below, so you will be within range.
I'm gonna go through the kitchen because I don't think I'll
Okay.
be able to go this way.
You
My
go
character.
through the kitchen now. If you choose to run or dash or whatever, you basically have double your movement. So the kitchen itself is empty, nothing there, just pots, pans, knives, spatulas, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll dash.
What was that?
I'll dash to the kitchen.
Yep. So okay, so you clear that, and you find yourself in a hallway, and from that hallway, it's a grand, large space as well. It's not a really hallway, I should say. It's a grand, large space. You can see a dining area directly in front of you, but you also see a grand staircase to your left that you can climb up on, and you hear footsteps somewhere on that staircase, and you have about 30 feet of movement that you can use to kind of work your way up the steps.
I will start headed towards the steps. I have
All
a
right,
high.
you
So,
basically make it towards the steps and towards kind of like the first landing in between, first and the ground floor and the second floor, and in front of you, you're chasing an orc who's at the moment just a few feet in front of you, facing up, right? This orc is holding onto an axe, and that is it as far as your movement. You're not in front of him, but you've used your movement, but not your action. So if there's an action you want to take, you're welcome to it.
Would she roll with advantage because she's ambushing? Like, does he detect her?
This will be with advantage. This is technically, yeah, it would be with advantage.
so I thought I traded in my movement for.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. You used the dash action. My bad.
I have a
Yes, you
bonus
did
action.
trade. So unless you have a bonus action, then you can't do anything.
No, I don't believe I have a bonus
All
action.
right, then you're good to go. All right, my apologies for that, and thank you for calling that out.
Oh no, it takes a casting time. I will cast my spiritual weapon.
Okay, that's a bonus action.
Yes, it's a bonus
All right,
action.
done.
Still.
Then you have spiritual weapon. What form does it take?
It takes a hammer.
All right, a hammer it is. Spiritual hammer.
Yes.
Okay, the hammer of justice.
The bell of freedom.
All right, Naru.
All right. So is my spell attack is a range attack or not? My flamethrower or the
Let me pull you up.
hands or produce flame.
Your
Produce flame is range. I think you have to be within I think that's a mid-distance spell. Let me check.
Yeah, it probably
Is
is.
that possible? I just blast through the study room's window.
Yeah, so produce flame, it is a 10-meter range, it looks like, or 10-minute duration. I'm sorry, 10-minute duration. The flame remains there. It is not ranged, actually.
Got it. So if I climb, can I climb to the second floor?
Oh, you can. I'm sorry. Hold on. You can attack with the flame, but it ends the spell. You can hurl it to a creature within 30 feet, and it takes 1d8 fire damage.
But only to creatures, not to object, right?
Well, yeah, anything really.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to set the house on fire,
I can blast out the second floor window, right? The study room window.
I would recommend against it, but you have that ability. Yes.
Yeah, I just kind of want to create escape hatch for Bunglefoot, right?
Okay.
Well, the window was open, wasn't it?
So yeah, so to let me describe what you see from your perspective, just to make sure you're, just so you
Just to make sure
not killing me for no reason.
Right.
That's a good point. Yep.
Danger and I are tactically set, and then we're just gonna see this giant fireball come through the wall.
That sounds exciting, but okay.
I got weapons,
Spell
bro.
called the Michael Bay.
I'm dead.
Bring it on.
Yeah, I'm examining to create escape patch for Bumblefoot, or I should follow Mira to give her some protection if actually that orc turning back on her.
All right. So forgive my super crude illustration, but this is the kitchen entrance.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the open window where Bunglefoot went through.
Yes.
Okay. This is the hallway window, which you don't know it's a hallway window, but that window's there.
Got it.
And there's the window for the room across from this room.
It's the
So
study.
that you see there. So you're saying you want to hurl. This is an open window. Do you want to hurl flame at it?
No, actually the study room, because actually Bumblefoot is.
You don't know where the study is, and you don't know where.
Would he know that it's a study? Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, and more importantly, it's on the other side of the building. So
There's the noise being like this, dropping ball bearings like from the study room. Do I know?
You wouldn't be
Danger,
able
we're
to
about to get
tell.
hit with a fireball.
No, not from outside the house.
Duck. Actually, I can't duck. I'm 2 feet tall.
Yeah, if you're knocking on my door and I spill a bunch of ball bearings in my bedroom, you would never know, right? So unfortunately, no, that's not going to work.
Because I don't have the intel, so let me go through the kitchen to follow.
You can go through the kitchen or climb up. Yeah.
Go through the kitchen.
All right, through the kitchen it is. Well, you basically, if you choose to run or dash, you have the exact same movement that Mira has, so you can catch up with her.
Yeah. Okay,
Right,
so I need to roll dice to see how much I can.
There's no need to roll for that. So you just use up your 60 feet of movement, which is enough to get you to the first landing of the grand staircase that leads to the second floor. And indeed, you're there with Mira, who just summoned the spiritual hammer, and you don't have an action. You do have 2 weapon fighting though.
Yeah, I have the dagger and the.
Yeah, I will let you attack with your offhand. Technically, I don't think I'm supposed to, but if you wanted to attack, you can do it with your. You'll get one free attack.
How big is
a ranged attack? So it could be.
How big is the orc with the axe?
So the orc is bigger than you are. I mean, it's easily 2 to 3 feet taller, easily twice as broad as you are. He's dressed in livery, so in other words, he's dressed like a butler.
Okay.
Very fine, like finely dressed, perhaps
Alfred in his axe,
maybe he hasn't seen a tailor lately and put on a few pounds, but
sounds like me.
At one point, he would have looked sharp in this outfit.
All right, I'll probably choose to attack because we have 2 people here. So
okay, you're choosing to attack. All right, are you gonna hurl a weapon at him? Hurl flame at him? It's got to be a ranged attack because he's further than 5 feet from
a few steps, right? So probably let's see. My range
crossbow
attack is. Let's see which one. One is 12 dex, and one have +4 hit.
Yeah, so almost all your weapons are actually +4 to hit. It looks like. Yeah. So the question is, which one does more damage? The crossbow and the flame do the most. The flame does the most damage of all.
Yeah, that's right, because you have 12 dex, right?
But the crossbow does the exact same amount of damage, and it gets a +2 bonus automatically. Wow. So in other words, your crossbow is a 6-sided die +2, so the maximum damage is 8, but the minimum damage is 3. Versus your flame, it's an 8-sided die, so it will do 1 to 8 damage. So it doesn't benefit from that minimum damage that you get from your bonus, right?
Got it. So it's a larger range.
You're actually better off doing a crossbow in this case.
Crossbow is more,
and you don't risk setting the house on fire.
As am I. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So let's do the crossbow. Do I need to roll the dice?
Yes, you do. Roll a d20.
All right.
And then add your +4 to hit bonus to that.
I add 19.
Okay, great. That hits a hit. So you're gonna hit. So roll a 6-sided die and add 2.
6-sided die add 2. I got 5, and it will be 7.
All right, you do 7 points of damage. Okie dokie.
Oh, got it. So one is the chance, and one is the actual damage. Okay, got it. Okay.
Yep. All right. Congratulations on drawing first blood.
in the entire game.
Yeah, it only took us,
Really?
4 hours.
4 hours.
All right, so do some action.
I'm a lover,
Got
not a
this.
fighter.
Well, that's only because Trisha didn't let me kill that kid. I'm just gonna say it.
Hey, hey, it's only Trooks Ross isn't here. He would have come in guns
Alright.
blazing.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
It's the best defense.
So okay, so yeah, so you hit the orc kind of screams as that bolt just shoots right into like between his shoulder muscles, right?
Right.
And that little bolt looks, or the quiver, yeah, the little bolt looks kind of small compared to his large body.
Ooh.
And certainly you got his attention. Next up is I lost my there we go. Next up is Payman.
Hey, so Payman, he looks through the door at the next door, and roughly, this is me just asking, kind of as player, can I make it into the study and still have an action?
Yes, you have enough movement to make it into the study, and it won't take any extreme amount of guesswork to figure out that that's where Bunglefoot is.
Right, just because we kind of had visual on the door, we saw him go in, the orc go in.
Well, you didn't see him go in, but
we didn't?
it's there. The other doors
Well,
are
the
closed,
action was.
and there's an orc, who just went
yelling.
in through that door, so you could probably
Yeah.
tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I gone ahead into the study.
All right.
I shimmy and say, "Come on, Danger!" And
Yep, what you see? Yeah, what you see?
He should probably make a dexterity check.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. So what you see is, there's an orc in front of you. He's in very close proximity to Bunglefoot, who's standing on like a coffee table. You see an older man in a with a letter opener, just kind of standing back, on the other side of a desk in the study. And more importantly, you are stepping on a bunch of ball bearings. So I need you to do a dexterity check.
I got a dirty 20 on Dex with an 18.
All right, then you're fine. You're just going to get half movement, but otherwise you're fine. You don't fall.
How close is the guy at the desk?
This room, the entire room is maybe 30 by 30.
Okay. Am I within 15 feet of each
Well within.
non-party character?
Yeah.
Well within 15 feet?
Yes.
All right, then I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave.
Okay.
Thunder Wave is I think it's a level 2.
Yep.
Yeah. So Thunder Wave sends out like a giant shockwave in a 15-foot cube. And they have to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
And on a failed save, they take 2d8 of thunder damage, and they're pushed 10 feet back.
Okay.
On a successful save, they just cut the damage in half.
The orc failed to save, and Bunglefoot, by the way, you're going to have to roll.
Okay.
You're in line of sight. And the human succeeded, so he's going to take half damage. So how much damage does the orc take again?
Let me roll. It's 2d8.
All right,
But remember, you have a +1 on saving throws.
Oh, that's right. And I'm saving against what again?
And you have resistance.
Constitution.
Constitution.
Yeah, you have resistance, and I'll take the same amount of damage as you.
I got a 12.
+1.
+1 is 13. And
What's your con?
11.
That doesn't give you a bonus, I don't think.
No, you need to get a 12 to get a +1.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a 12.
You rolled a 12. Yeah. DC was
+1
what?
from me.
You rolled a 12, so it's a 13. So DC was what again?
DC?
Payment? The
Oh.
difficulty class. This is for
Oh.
payment. What's your spell DC?
Brandon,
My spell.
your spell
Yeah.
DC?
I got it. It's 13. So you needed a 13, so that saves.
Oh, phew.
Yeah. All
So
right.
half damage on success. There's a lot of times spells have half damage on success.
Yeah,
It is half
so
damage
that's
on
the
success,
thing.
but he
Is
doesn't fly back.
everybody who saved is going to take half damage and not be pushed back.
Yeah.
So the damage now is what?
I was waiting to be queued to roll and it count. I didn't just want to aimlessly roll.
Yeah.
So I got a 7, and I got a 3. So just a 10 on the double 8.
Okay.
And Bumblefoot,
So-
you have resistance to all damage, so you're gonna take another half of the
There you
damage.
go. So you take like
Half of the half. So you
So
take
you're gonna take 2 damage.
Oh, all right.
I
Well,
take 2 damage as well.
thanks.
and that orc is going to go flying back to the edge of the room if it's only a 30 by 30, right?
Might he go out the window?
He's basically, yeah. So the orc is pushed past past Bunglefoot and towards one of the bookcases, and he crashes into it. And he manages to kind of hang on to the bookcase and not fall. So, and some books kind of fly down and whatnot, but he seems otherwise, well, he's hurt. And then the human, he took some damage from that blast. All right.
Bunglefoot, what the hell are these ball bearings doing on the floor?
Yeah. Next up is Danger.
Is the this range attack affecting the orc with the axe, or actually it's not in the range yet?
What was that?
The range attack we just did, right?
The range attack. Yeah, you're within. You're basically about 10 feet away from the other orc. There's 2 orcs, so you're seeing a different one than these guys are dealing with. So Danger, you're still in the kid's bedroom. So you saw Payman run out, and he seems to have entered the room next door, and you hear this, like a thunderclap almost, and then you hear like just rumbling and dust and debris kind of falls on you.
Then I crudely question Bunglefoot on why these bearings are on the floor.
And you hear something about ball bearings. It's like, why the bleep are there ball bearings here? So, yeah.
All right, sounds exciting.
So, do I have the ability to fire at him, or?
Well, you're currently in another room, so if you go into the room, you'll
through the wall.
Yeah. Yep.
Joke.
So you have more than enough movement to do that. So you find yourself adjacent to Payman. You see now an orc up against a bookshelf, just kind of holding himself steady for a moment there. You see this older gentleman now looking a little disheveled, maybe some bleeding out of his nose or something like that from this blast that Payman just issued. You see Bunglefoot faring reasonably well, considering he was in the midst of all this, and you're stepping on a bunch of ball bearings. So I need you to roll dexterity.
Sounds like an episode of Friends.
Yes, it sounds like it is an episode of Friends.
So jokes aside, do I know who I'm really who because I walk in?
Well, you know who your friends are, but
is it Smokey?
Who the denizens? No, it's not Smokey. It's if anything, it's just Dusty, just because that thunder wave just kind of shook like all the dust in the room. Although this particular room was in decent shape, so maybe some cracked plaster from the ceiling is falling on you and whatnot. But before you attack or anything like that, I need you to roll your so a d20 and add your dexterity modifier. Okay. If you have acrobatics, you can add that bonus instead.
So dexterity is 3. Which bonus?
For acrobatics.
No, not having it. It's a 6 + 3, 9 total.
Okay. So unfortunately, you slip and you
fall in. You fall not very far.
You fall down. So yes, well done, Bunglefoot. So yeah, so he slides in. He tries to stop himself, and this is actually something that I just did like a couple weeks ago. I was at a friend's house, and I was.
Why were there ball bearings on the floor?
And well, they had this like smooth floor, and I was wearing socks, and I decided I was going to do the whole Tom Cruise thing and Risky Business, and I just kind of kept sliding, and I just disappeared behind the kitchen island.
I can't ever unremember that.
So I failed my dex check. I cannot failed my dex check, just like Danger just did. So yeah, he just kind of tries to stop himself, feet on the ball bearings. He just
Keeps going.
and
I
flips
look
over.
down at
You are
him. I
now.
look back at Bunglefoot, and I exclaim once more, "Why the?
Why the
Are there
flippity
ball
flop are
bearings?
there ball bearings?
Because of gravity.
And
This
so,
episode, the one with the roller skates.
yeah, so but you do get to admire a fresco that's painted on the ceiling,
Oh,
now slightly cracked because of the thunder wave. Okay, next up is Bunglefoot.
I don't get to do anything. I just slip.
You just
That was a shitty roll.
yep.
Got some paladin.
D&D, baby.
Attack the ceiling. I will
all
let
right.
you attack
What's
the ceiling.
I mean to ignore this.
what's Gerwin doing?
What's
Is he
who-
still
Are we sure that that's
disoriented?
Gerwin?
Yeah, Gerwin is still there, and he's like kind of cowering. He hasn't done anything at the moment.
How close is he?
He's probably about 10 to 15 feet away from you. Still on the other side of the desk.
He's on the other side of the desk
Yes.
from me.
On the other side from you, yes.
On the other side from me.
Between you on the
so-
nightstand, excuse me, on the coffee table and the desk, it stands
Stands
Gerwin.
Gerwin Reuter. Is it
Yes.
Gerwin with a G or Berwin
It's with a G. With a G.
with a G? All right.
Yes, Gerwin.
Um. Um. Can I I really just want to find the key. But I don't know. Could I get to like
You if you want to check the desk, assuming that's kind of, since you indicated that you wanted to.
yeah, I
check
know
it
there's a
out
bunch of
earlier,
papers there, but I
You
think
can. I will let you use your entire action
Oh!
to investigate the check.
did
desk.
the thunder wave knock the papers off the desk?
It knocks some papers. If in anything, the search might get slightly more complicated. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Ah, great. You're welcome. And I put ball bearings on the floor.
No, but I'll still let you examine the desk, over the course of an action or two.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to see if I can.
All right. So you're ignoring Gerwin.
I just like, I feel like he's, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like he's not going to be as nimble as I am.
Okay. Okay. Let me just check.
I mean, I guess my question before it, so does he still look disoriented, or is he starting to get himself together?
He looks scared, poopless.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
demon wizard did just walk into his room and like release a thunderclap that sent his orc into the wall.
That's a good point.
Okay.
And you look barely phased.
Yeah,
Despite having
that's true.
experienced the same
That's
thing.
true. I may look borderline otherworldly to him.
That's really the scariest part. I'm just here to
True.
make you look good.
You do.
So Gerwin now gets his action. Well, yeah, Gerwin has his action along with the orcs, right? And so he looks at the orc and goes like, Nero, my boy, my son. It's like, or not my son, but my boy, how are you? It's like, are you okay? And he drops his letter opener and goes to the orc. It's like, I surrender.
This is so bizarre. Does he slip on the ball bearings?
No. let's say that the ball bearings didn't reach that side of the room.
Oh, dang it.
And the orc, and he's telling the orc, it's like, just stop my boy.
But initiative's still going, right?
We're still in combat.
Yeah.
The orc takes no action, and neither does he. That leaves the other orc that you stabbed, who unfortunately does not know, or not stabbed, but shot at. So he doesn't know what's going on, but he turns to you, and he's going to attack one of you.
All right.
He goes after Mira with your spiritual hammer, and he's going to attack you with an axe. I assume 24 hits.
Yes, it does.
And oh boy, it's a great axe. You take 15 points of damage.
Ouch.
Yeah, he rolled. I rolled it's a d12 for damage plus 3, and I rolled a 12. So that is his action. He's now in close range to both Naru and Mira. This is an FYI, and it is Mira's turn.
All right. I've been attacked. I feel justified in what I am about to deal out.
All right.
So first off, I'll take my bonus action, which is 1d8 plus 3 damage, and I need to roll a d20 for that attack. I miss. That's a 2. Next, I will take an action. I will use. I'm gonna use Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
A flashlight streaks towards a creature of your choice within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 46 radiant damage. And next attack roll against this target before the end of your next turn has advantage.
All right. Go for it. Guiding bolt.
9 plus 5, 14 hit?
That hits.
Yes. Okay, so now he takes 46. $15 damage.
All right. He falls to the ground.
So he's down.
He's down.
Nice. All right.
Okay. It is Naru's turn. The orc that was in front of you has fallen.
Have a
And-
chance to get up,
and
or
is knocking on heaven's door. And yeah, what are you
All
gonna
right.
do?
it seems like that is no longer a threat. So maybe I
No
should.
longer a threat.
Yeah, I should proceed to the study room.
All right. You basically step over the orc, and you are in the study. And what you see, well, first of all, roll dexterity, please.
Okay, this for the barbarian, of course.
Yes.
The 21, right?
It's a d20 exactly, and then you can add your. I think I have your character here, so you can add your dexterity modifier.
Yeah, it's 2, right? So right now I roll 7.
4. Yeah, plus 4. It's 11.
Okay. 13.
Unfortunately, you failed. So,
Gravity takes us.
so you slip in or slide in as well, and you land. And I'm gonna say 30% chance that you fall on top of danger. You do not fall on top of danger.
Oh, thank goodness.
So, but you're examining the delicate weave of the carpet underneath you. Since you're
I don't
facing
make a
down.
comment or an exclamation this time. I just look down at him and I slowly look at Bunglefoot because he knows what I'm going to say.
There you go.
I'm busy looking at the desk.
All right. Mira, you do have some movement left. I don't know if you wanted to move.
I'll move towards the office where the rest of the people are.
Are you gonna step in the office?
Okay, it's gonna be a party here.
I move towards it. I don't step in yet.
All right. So you're at the threshold, and let's just say that you see a bunch of ball bearings on the floor. You see 2 people. You see Naru and Danger on the floor, one looking up, the other one looking down. You see an orc up against a bookcase with an older man that seems to be tending to him, unarmed. And then you see Bunglefoot on the desk rifling through papers, like, I know it's here somewhere, or whatever. I don't know. You decide how you're going to do it, and yeah, that's kind of the vignette, that would make for a very interesting kind of party portrait.
Yeah.
If you guys ever wanted to commission one. So yes, it is now Payne's turn.
Before I make my next attack, can I verbally call out, or would that count as my action? I don't know.
First of all, just for the record, yeah, you can talk, but and I'll remind you that you heard, the gentleman say.
I know he's put his weapons down.
Yeah, and the orc was unarmed.
Yeah, so I yell out, "The key! Where is it? We know you have the key to the waterworks."
All right.
All right. I think with this we can stop combat.
Oh, dang it! I was gonna hit him with the fireball if he said no.
No.
It's gonna wreck his entire life and burn his house down.
Oh.
My directions are that he's a coward and surrenders as soon as one of his the orcs who he raised from children, gets hurt.
Fine, I won't be vicious.
So he goes like, I already gave it to her.
Who?
Oh, my boy, my boy. Oh, you'll be fine. Oh.
Who did you give it to?
So he was like, where's Reno? Is he okay?
Yeah, he is. I lie. I just blatantly lie.
I'm going to use one of my spell slots to heal the other one that I took.
That is
All right.
bold.
Give me healing.
I also have
Alright,
healing as
again.
well. Are we allowed to both use them?
You're what?
Healing.
Yeah. What about it?
We use them. Can.
Yeah.
So I healed the what was the guy? Other one, orc's name? 5 points.
There's Nero and Reno. So Reno is the one that was in the stairwell.
Yeah. I'll heal Reno by 5 points, and
Okay.
but before I do that, I will bring him into the place and make
Remember,
sure
he's
He's an orc.
huge. Yeah, you can do it with a strength check, and as
Pretty
heroes, you all have the strength necessary. So just give me a quick strength check, and you'll be fine.
12.
Yep, that's enough. Just needed a 10 or above. I guess you could have just taken a 10. So yeah. All right. So you drag him up the stairs and you heal him. He's cuffed, and he begins to come to. And Gerwin says, I gave it to Lady Evanor. She has my son's spirit.
You say son's spirit or sun spirit?
Son apostrophe S.
The possessive
The
form.
spirit of her son.
The spirit
Oh,
of her.
geez, the spirit of the kid who do the.
Yeah, and then I mean, can I tell them like, hey, the kid's room next door? I think it's the kid's room next door. Looks like he's been gone for a while.
We did come in that way. I saw that. That makes sense.
Right, but Mira didn't.
Son.
It's been gone.
Leverage.
How long
Our
has she had him?
family, the Reuter family has had a long friendship with Lady Evanor's family, and she's angry for some reason, and I wanted to just end our relationship that's gone back since the founding of this town. I fear that she intends to poison the town's water supply.
Okay, so 2%. Okay.
I hope that she could give me my son's spirit back.
Oh boy.
Can I sit down next to him? Can I sit down next to him?
Sure.
I sit down next to him and I just look at him like, that's terrible. I'm so sorry that what was once a beautiful friendship has devolved into this play for power and disgusting hostage situation. what would you say if I said we could help you get your son's spirit back?
My protege has promised.
All right. He says, I have nothing to lose. Oh,
What do you
things
have to give? Do you have information on
Nero
where
and
she
Reno are the
is?
closest thing I have to family now, and my wife is gone. My son is gone. My fortunes are gone. So,
Where's your son's blood?
just, yes, of course. Just stop her.
Well, your fortune might be gone, but you still have your brains. I mean, look around the study full of books. What do you know about her that could be helpful for us? Whether it's location, habits,
Yeah,
associations.
he describes where she lives. She has a manor, and yeah, it's the Vandrum. Her name is Evanor Vandrum, and she has an estate that's certainly like an hour's travel from here by foot. So it's just on the other side of the city. Uh, and basically he relays that his family, the Reuters, have long had a kinship and some kind of a relationship, friendship with the Vandrum family, and always with the matriarchs of the family, um, and yeah, she all the way going back to let me see, I'm trying to see the name of the original. Yeah, Dasha Reuter was his great 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 grandfather, right? And so Dasha, who was allied with Jute Winbrow, was basically, they were both considered the city's founders, with Winbrow taking the bulk of the credit. They're the ones that reportedly, founded the town and all that stuff. And in any case, as I said, they've had some kind of alliance with the Vandrum family, and he's decided to end it. And she took, when his son passed, she did something to retrieve his spirit and put it into some kind of a container, receptacle, and the spirit lies within, and she took it and offered to return it if she gets the key. For the record, his son died of natural causes.
So did she, you gave her the key. You went through all this trouble hiring the rats. Did she return your son's spirit?
She said she would when she was finished.
Did she give you an idea on when that would be? And when you could expect her?
No, I don't know.
Do you know if she has any other enemies in town?
The Vandrums are known and respected, but reclusive. Our family was the only one that I'm aware of that ever had any kind of alliance with the Vandrums.
Has she become involved in any cults recently?
I beg your pardon?
Any weird new religious things? Did she suddenly become religious or anything like that?
Did her behavior suddenly change?
No, but well, yes. I mean, she's been getting more temperamental of late. Just quick to anger. But no, otherwise, nothing else.
So
Maybe somebody above her is putting pressure on her.
do you think that she would do this of her own free will, of her own fruition?
As I said, she seems angry. She seems upset at something. I just don't know.
Could someone be holding leverage over her, like she's holding over you, such as
may,
yourself?
may very well be. Hers is one of the. It is just as old. Her family is just as old as ours in the Windbrow family. She herself is practically a founder. Well, not she, but her ancestors. The other matriarchs of the family have always been well respected and upstanding citizens, and she herself could still be considered that, despite her short temper of late.
So you mentioned your family's a founder and her family's a founder. How many founding families are there?
As far as the infamous story of the founding of the city, it was the Windbrows and the Reuters, and primarily Jude Windbrow was the one who defeated the Hags. My great grandfather, well, he was not a fighting man, and he was a kind man, and just yes, he founded the city, and that he provided much of the capital, and allied himself with the Vandrums, who also helped build the city, along with the Windbrows. So those, you could say, the Windbrows are the most known, and my family second, and the Vandrums remain
Do you know why she
anonymous.
have connecting to such a black magic to capture spirits? She have any connection to?
I know nothing of magic. I just use trinkets.
Do you have any spell scrolls here that might lend some insight to what's going on?
I'm afraid not. I don't delve in the magical arts.
Yeah, that was just Payman trying to learn a new spell.
I figured.
Well,
Yeah.
I hear you. Go ahead,
Wait,
Bumblefoot.
so Jute's Landing was founded by a bunch of families that killed a bunch of hags, and you've said that Lady Avenor has suddenly gotten much angrier lately.
And then we're having the festival celebrating that.
Like, it's just that I wonder if Lady Avenor has been
Somehow possessed.
either possessed or replaced by some legacy of the hags. Were the hags all killed, or were they just run out of town?
And even if they were killed, I mean, obviously death isn't that big of a barrier if he can retrieve a spirit.
They so you remember from the play that there were 3 hags, and 2 had been killed and 1 ran away.
All right.
There we go.
The lead.
I think.
Vivid
All right.
theory. Working hypothesis.
Working hypothesis.
Bunglefoot loads his corncob pipe and says,
Yes.
"I have an idea."
Another mystery solved.
Sherlock Holmes thing.
It's like a halfling version of Simon and Simon.
I love it.
Just one more thing.
Oh, what do I know about hags?
Let's do a.
I mean, most of us here are married, so there could be a very low-hanging fruit joke. Right there.
Oh boy.
Let's not
In
do
all
that. Thank
forms.
you.
No, it's I'll avoid it.
Yeah, I'll allow. I think. You can all do either an Arcana, History, Nature, or Religion check. Whichever's higher. So roll your d20 and add either of those bonuses.
Mine are all plus
together,
1.
and we'll just see whoever rolls
Woo!
highest. Tell me the
I got a
highest.
Dirty 20.
History check. Oh, I guess dirty 20 is good.
Okay.
16.
So I got a 18 plus 3. Religion.
So 21.
I know nothing. I rolled a 5.
Okay, I'm sorry. So who was the highest then?
I got
I hear a lot of
21 with
20s,
my
so I think
plus
that was
5 with
danger.
Arcana.
Yeah. So um, they they're fae of sorts. They come from kind of they kind of come through the veil between worlds and uh, manifest in certain areas, right? There are different varieties of hags. You're aware that what would be appropriate here might be a sea hag. Um, they tend to form covens, on occasion when they're together, and they're horrific looking creatures that practice certain dark arts.
Are they known to impersonate people?
Um, the do another. So who rolled the highest amongst you? That will be the expert, or
21.
the closest thing you guys. Who was it?
Yeah, Danger had a 21. A
21.
dirty
Okay.
21.
And nobody had higher than 21. Okay, so Danger, roll one more time, please.
20. Dirty. Well, not. It's a 20. Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. Yeah, you know that that hags can alter their appearance.
Mm.
Interesting.
Question or statement.
Yeah. At least that's the rumor, and it's a fairly common rumor, so you're fairly certain that it's rooted in fact.
Okay.
Would Trish, I mean Myra, would you want to make a check on that? Just being so proficient in history.
I mean, Josh rolled a 20, natural 20. So
Oh,
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's
your
fine.
that's your yeah.
He's like the
that's-
Marlon
he's-
Perkins of sea
he-
hags.
yeah, he actually is quite the authority on hags for some reason. He must have like browsed the book or something, or maybe it's just a fairy tale that he really got into when he was a young little rangeling, and yeah, so that's what you got. They're normally hideous creatures, but they do have the ability to alter their shape.
Mm. Does he share that with the group, or does
Yeah,
he keep
he
that to
shares what
himself?
he knows.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When they alter the shape, do they can mimicking other things like voice, clothing, other stuff, or only the body?
Yeah, usually it means they can basically conceal everything about their appearance.
It would
I
be
do have-
in this. Go ahead.
Oh, I do have another question about related to the events of the past.
Mhm.
Is there any? I know there's like a festival, but is there a specific like date or time that's very significant to the defeat of the hags?
The anniversary of the town isn't for, or whatever, the town's founding isn't for another couple of months.
But what was the festival for then?
Oh, what you saw was a play being put on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the anniversary isn't for a couple months. And obviously, is there any other like historic event in the near future that could indicate that they might be acting on that as some sort of revenge ploy?
No, in fact, the anniversary of the town's founding is the only major event that we've got coming up. There are no holidays or other celebrations, no elections happening at the moment. No,
Did you
nothing remarkable coming up or that has recently occurred.
did you inherit any journals from the founder that we could flip through to make sure that there's not, like the anniversary of the defeat that the hag would be aware of that we may not be aware of?
Um, Let me check to see what we've got here. I don't believe so.
How long do hags live?
Oh, we got Danger's the
sorry.
expert on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danger. How long do these sea hags live, or
No
can
idea.
like
Where would I
have
see that?
can like pass
Yeah,
his veil?
so no, I mean he basically tells you he's read all the family histories and records and everything else, and the only mention of the hags is is from the town's founding. You know, his father's or great grandfather's, whatever great grandfather's diaries mention how Jute attacked the hags, and how
What date did he attack the hags? The day they found
several
it?
centuries ago. I mean, it's been several generations, right? It's
I
been
say let's just go kill this hag.
several generations.
Yeah, I think we got to go.
Yeah.
I think that's what we
Speaking
got
of
to do.
Oregon,
Oregon. Yeah, so yeah, basically, yeah, the diaries just mentioned that his great grandfather, you know, just didn't feel compelled to fight the hags,
Right.
you know, who lived here before they came.
I mean, he said he wasn't much of a fighter.
Yeah, he wasn't much of a fighter. No.
So I say, obviously, our next course of action is to pursue this, right? I mean, not only for your son's soul, but for the safety of this town, and more importantly, for the gold that is promised and that awaits us once we do so. But I will ask, like, the faster we can get there, the faster we can, you know, make all of those things happen. Do you have any horses or servants that could take us there?
Yes, yes, Nero can take you if he's well enough. Nero kind of grunts. I don't trust these people. It's like, just do it, son. You'll be fine. And he Nero kind of grunts. Take care of Reno. And the man goes to Reno and starts kind of taking a now bloodied handkerchief and starts just patting his wounds and stuff like that. Please just go. Just find my son's soul. And so yeah, he takes you to Reno, takes you into the stables where they hitch up. He hitches up 2 horses to a what's it called, a stagecoach type thing, a coach, and he transports you to the entrance of the Vandrum estate. He drops you off. The Vandrum estate looms before you, large and impressive. A steel portcullis stands open at the entrance to a stone courtyard with a large fountain. So, and Nero rides away.
And
With
did you
nary good luck.
did you say was the portcullis up or down?
It's up. It's open. It leads into into a courtyard with a that ultimately leads into a fountain, and the rest of the building, you know, on the other side. It's almost like any of those rich people kind of things, you know. There's that roundabout around a fountain, you know, and then yeah, just like that. It's just really a much nicer version than the Reuter estate. You know, the Reuter estate could have matched it at one point in its heyday, but not now. I want to do a quick time check. It's been 2 hours since the official start of the game, although we've actually been playing a little bit less than that. So do you guys want to continue a little bit more, or want to call it here and finish the adventure next week?
Yeah, I would. I probably need to finish next week just because I've got kid bedtime coming up.
That's not a problem, and
finish the chapter.
I'm trying to do I try to do a good job of like just stopping at the 2 hour mark.
I appreciate that. I think that's very helpful.
So yeah. All right, very good. So you've reached chapter 4 and the final chapter.
All right.
We've only had 2 attacks go off, so that's pretty good.
Well, yeah. Well, what I've learned, yeah. So let me start the streaming here, but thank you all for watching, by the way. Not that many people are watching.
Still counts.